Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Ticking Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette Syndrome. In today's video, I wanted to do a brief video discussing my punching tic. Because a lot of you guys have asked me about this specific tic on my videos and wanted to know more about it. Does it hurt? What's the deal with it? Yada yada yada. So we're gonna do a video dedicated to my punching tic. But before we get into that, I just wanted to back it up. If you're new here, my name is Carly. I am 24 and I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome at the age of 12. Tourette's is a neurological disorder, which means it affects my brain, and it causes me to make involuntary movements and sounds called tics. And one of my tics is literally beating the poop out of myself. So if you clicked on this video, you probably know about my punching tics, which is where I punch my chest, the back of my head, my neck, my stomach sometimes, my lower back. I take my hands and just full force punch. And this is a tic. This is involuntary. This is something I physically struggle to control. And a lot of the time people ask me, does it hurt? Can you control it? Why are you doing this? So this video I'm gonna explain. As I said, it is a tic, and as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, peace out. Tics are involuntary movements or sounds. And so this is unfortunately a tic in the form of an involuntary movement that I can't control, but it happens to be a self-injuring tic, which is really unfortunate that these things happen, but it's something, again, that I can't control. So I get this kind of build-up sensation in my chest as well as my whole arm where I just know I need to punch myself. And it's involuntary to the point where I honestly don't think about it before I do it. It just happens. My arm just kind of spasms and hits myself at full force. And it's not something that I really think about, but it does hurt. A lot of my comments ask me, does your punching tic hurt? And it does, because like imagine someone literally beating you up, like punching you in the chest, in the back of your head. It will hurt, because it's at my full force and I'm not punching correctly. I know there's a correct way to punch. I'm literally just swinging and hitting, but it does hurt, kind of. As I said, imagine someone else was punching you, it would hurt. But for me, I'm just kind of used to it. Like, yeah, it does hurt, especially when it bruises and gets all red like this. It does hurt, but it's to the point where I don't really notice it anymore because it's just been happening for so long. When I do punch the back of my head on occasion, I haven't done it for a while, but when I do have that tic that cycles, sometimes I will wear a padded helmet, because if I punch my head too hard for too long, I get debilitating migraines to the point where it feels like I've concussed myself. It hurts that bad. I get dizzy, I get blind spots in my eyes, I see stars, like it's not good. But again, I can't control any of this. It is totally a tic, something that is just out of my control. And it does suck that I'm beating myself up, but I can't help it. So again, does it hurt? Yes and no. That original kind of shock, sure. But also I feel like I've built up a tolerance, if that makes sense. Because like, I got rice. I do it so much that it's just kind of second nature. But if someone else were to punch me, I feel like it would hurt more. I don't know. It hurts, but also I'm used to it. Hope that answers your question. And another question I get all the time is, can you put padding here? Can you put padding on your hands or your head? And this is something I really needed to address because I get these comments all the time. And the thing is, for me, with Tourette syndrome comes a premonitory urge. As I mentioned, that tingly, burny electricity feeling here, wherever I need to tic. And so if I were to prevent the tic from being fully satisfied, if I were to put something here, and if I were to block my punch, I would end up having that urge build even more. And in the end, I would have to punch myself probably more times, even harder, because that urge is not being satisfied originally, and the urge is building and building and building, which means I would have to tic more. And I know a lot of you guys don't understand this because premonitory urges in tics is something that people without tics really can't fathom a lot of the time. But imagine a really itchy itch and someone is just preventing you from scratching that itch forever. It gets itchier. and eventually you're just gonna have to rip at your skin. That's kind of what it feels like with the punching tic. If something were preventing me from hitting myself, I know I would have to hit myself harder and it would just be a lot worse. I do wear the padded helmet on my head because I need to protect my head. It doesn't satisfy the urge as well as I like it to, but at the end of the day, my head is a very important part of my body and I want to protect it the best I can. Putting something on my hands also really wouldn't work. I've tried gloves and stuff, but it just blocks the urge from being satisfied, and as a result, I tic more. So I really have to like take it or leave it, like take less tics but pain, or take way more tics from stifling and trying to like move it around and block it. So it really depends, but I appreciate all of your guys' concerned comments being like, can you do anything to help it? And really the only thing I can do to help it is to get the tic out. So yeah. I hope this made sense for you. Those are kind of my most common, my most common questions I get about my punching tics. And so I wanted to address them in this short little video here. I hope I answered your question. If you have more questions, please leave them in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Please give this video a thumbs up if you learned anything or if you liked it. I would really appreciate that. Again, leave a comment down below saying hi or letting me know what you'd like to see in future videos, and subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell to stay tuned to all of my content, because I post about Tourette Syndrome awareness as well as some of my life stories of living with Tourette's for over 10 years. My goal is to break the stigma that surrounds Tourette's because there's so much negative stuff out there in the media. We need to debunk the myths and get the real stuff out there, so subscribe please. As always, we are learning together, we're laughing together, and we're ticking together. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and stay safe.